Hello friends and customers of the SMR Group. Welcome to this week's reflection on the stainless steel industry. It's a month ago that I talked to you last time, and when we spoke about the Brexit, etc. And wow, what a month it has been, and how have things changed. In the meantime, stainless service centers and consumers in the United States are on allocation. In Europe, particularly in Germany, people are really concerned that they are not getting enough material. Prices are shooting up, as I understood it. Only in February in Germany, they went up by 500 euros. Conversion margins are back to levels we haven't seen in years. And, things look just fabulous and fantastic. And I enjoy that. And of course, we should all have a glass of champagne after that last 12 months here. But nevertheless, I would like to caution you a little bit and would like to analyze the dynamics that are behind this current boom. And so the question of this week is the stainless steel boom in North America and Europe real? I prepared again 4 slides, and I'm going to show them to you now. So, in order to answer that question, we have to look again on the famous Pulp Perfect that is steering our industry. We discussed that a little bit earlier already. The end user is changing its behavior a little bit with all these stock points in the various tiers of the supply chain. The component manufacturer amplifies tier 2 retail distribution, service centers, big OEMs, etc. And then the steel mill is the one that sees its order intake at a much higher volatility than what's happening in the real markets. This effect seems to control our industry since many, many years, and there is no way to get rid of it. Maybe digitalization will have in the future a certain impact on getting these amplitudes smaller. Nevertheless, now, where are we in 2021, which is an extreme year, I have to admit. This is what's happening in the real markets, in North America and in Europe. And you see in these segments, most of the developments that are expected this year are single-digit increases. Healthy increases, but still single-digit, with the exception of automotive, which will grow this year in Europe at 12% and in North America by an astonished 23%. So this is what's happening in the real market in 2021 for the whole year. Now, how does that translate into this apparent consumption? And here we have to look at first the real demand dynamics here, -12 +8 in Europe, -14 +11 in 2021 in the United States, Canada, and Mexico together. And when you look at the stock level dynamics, they were very different on both sides of the Atlantic here. We had an upstocking in Europe in 2020, increasing surprisingly, and we still expect over the whole year that there will be a small upstocking also in 2021. In 2020, because the US supply chain obviously reacted faster to the downturn, we had already a destocking, whilst in 2021 we are expecting a relatively healthy upstocking. And this means that these 8% in Europe become 11 double-digit growth in Europe on an apparent side. This is what the steel mills see, and this is what the end users do. And in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, this is even stronger, where an 11% real demand move translates itself into a 15% increase on an apparent consumption side, order intake from the steel mills. So what I want to tell you now, based on these numbers, is better to be explained also on the quarterly level. So these are the quarterly dynamics. First in Europe, first quarter, we had a higher apparent demand than real demand, meaning we had an upstocking last year in the first quarter. In the second quarter, that has changed, and the pipeline downstream started to reduce stocks. And that lasted actually until the end of 2021. And only where we speak right now, this is changing, and what the mills see at the moment is this strong continuous increase in apparent demand, even higher than last year's real demand, yeah, and so they believe the good times are back, yeah? And they, in America, they put their customers on allocation. In Europe, they're not opening the books anymore because they believe that this will last until the end of the year, more or less. But what is happening as we speak is that the real demand is still going up, but not so strong anymore because the V-shaped recovery is coming already to an end. And this, when we go forward now into the third quarter, yeah, we will have a quarter of substantial upstocking where the apparent demand is higher than the real demand. And in the fourth quarter, excuse me, it is not unusual that the service centers, for example, try to trim their stocks at year end, and they will reduce their purchasing substantially, and especially since we believe that the prices for nickel, chrome, molybdenum, etc. will have peaked, yeah, somewhere between now and the summer, and also will get a reaction downwards. So that is Europe, quarter by quarter, and in North America it looks pretty similar with a little bit different magnitudes. But also here in the fourth quarter, we believe that there will be a strong reduction in apparent consumption, whilst the real demand that is not going down that much in America. That's typical, you know, that they don't have that summer lull in the stainless industry that we usually have in Europe, is normalizing, let's say that way, and this is the situation. So all I'm saying at the moment is, from my 30 years of experience in this industry, trying to predict what's ahead in the short term, that's always the most expensive, the most difficult. You know, I just want to issue a warning sign here that in the second half, and particularly in the fourth quarter, there could be a substantial slowdown ahead. Okay, a good old American saying says, what goes up must come down, or what comes around goes around, or the other way around, you know, and we have several of these sayings also in German. For those of you who are long enough in the business, you know by experience that it's not always what you see in your order book reflects the reality, and that's why it's my advice. Do not look at what your direct customer or your direct supplier tells you. Look all the way down at the supply chain to the end to find the truth in the demand behavior. So with this, we're coming to an end again. I'm more than happy to get your feedback, positive, negative, whatever, you know. And at the very end, I want to mention that we have now changed and fixed the days for our Stainless Steel Summit, the international summit that will be on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of September in Como, beautiful Italy. And this time I think it will hold this date, and we will make it an event where we can all meet again and have a cup of coffee together. Thank you very much, and see you next time.